I did not
Jonathan
like that
Nolan?
movie.
Jonathan
Did you
Nolan.
like? Did you like it?
Which one
I
was
thought that was just a
Salvation? Is
waste.
that
What's his name?
I think that one with Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
I had such high hopes for that movie, and it was so disappointing.
I think every Terminator besides after 2 has been a disappointment in some capacity or another.
Last one they did wasn't that bad, but it wasn't great. But
The one with Amelia Clark?
no, the one after that.
There was one after that?
Yes, it had the guy who plays Joel's brother in The Last of Us. He was like the liquid Terminator dude.
Liquid Snake.
And he was really good.
I thought that was the same movie. It's the
No,
one with like
different
old
movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Dark Fate?
He's in both. He's in both of them.
Oh.
Damn, Mike, you gotta get up on your Terminator fucking...
I don't have to do shit.
Apparently you do.
T2 is one of the greatest movies of all time. So, I mean, I'm going to give any Terminator
I don't
movie.
see you picking it. I didn't see you pick it once.
The Amelia Clark one is the one with David, not David Tennant, Matt Smith, right?
Yes, yeah.
Dom's always just making connections with Doctor Who. That's what
Right.
Dom's all about.
It's wild, too. That guy's been in so many movies, but I don't think he's been in any successful movies. He's like Morbius. Like, every movie he's been in, I don't know if he's been
Morbius
in.
wasn't successful?
His scene in Morbius is probably the best scene in Morbius.
It's so good.
Anyways, we gotta get right into it because we had a great show tonight. Welcome everyone to the Pass the Controller podcast, a show where a couple of best friends talk about the latest in video games and nerd culture. Sometimes we have guests, and sometimes once a month we talk about movies, and that's tonight. So strap in. As always, I'm your host Brenden Groom, and joining me on this lovely Saturday evening is the anime senpai himself, the rap god, if I may, Mr. Michael Desir. Mike, how are you doing tonight?
Did I just spoil Dark Fate for myself?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Probably.
Why are you doing that?
It's okay. It's okay. You're not missing
I
it.
didn't know that this particular actor was going to reappear. I knew about everyone else, but not this one.
Wow.
I thought he fell off the
spoilers.
face of the earth.
Spoilers, Mike. Also joining us tonight, of course, is the Fortnite father himself, Todd Gary. Todd, how are you doing?
Good.
Love to
I'm
hear it.
excited to hear what you have to say about this movie.
What movie? We didn't watch a movie. We're supposed to watch a movie tonight? Rounding us out, of course, is the Disney daddy himself. When you wish upon a Dom. Dom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm here.
I
Doing a lot worse than I was 2 minutes ago.
I honestly don't. That just came out. I don't know why I said that. So here we are. We got like I said, we got a great show. We're going to talk about the movie They Live, which was Todd's pick for the movie club for November. Yes, it is December, but it's the last episode of the November week, and that's how we're rolling things out here. But before we get into that, a couple of quick housekeeping things. This episode, of course, sponsored by our good friends at Goodnight Fatty. If you're in the Salem, Massachusetts area or the North Shore of Massachusetts on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday evening, you want yourself something hot, something fresh, something tasty and hot. I just said hot and fresh and tasty in all the wrong orders, and it messed me up. You can head on down to 1 Washington Square and get yourself a delicious fatty. And if you're unaware of what a fatty is, you can check them out on social media at Goodnight Fatty and at Good Morning Chubby, and I promise you, you will not be disappointed. What else we got for housekeeping?
Mike.
What?
Mike just thought he spoiled something for himself, but he's in it for like 0.5 seconds. Like, no joke. Like, maybe.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever.
I think we'll wrap housekeeping up there. I feel like
Mike has to pick a movie.
Mike does have to pick a movie. Mike, you are the December child. How are you gonna lay this down on us? What are you making the people watch?
Let me just double check, because there was a movie that I was like, oh yeah, I've been meaning to watch this, and I knew it was streaming someplace. I don't know if it's still streaming there. If it's not streaming there, then I'll just pick the other thing.
Why? Todd made me fucking buy They Live.
I thought it said Peacock too when I picked it. I don't know if it
see
came
it
off of
anywhere.
Peacock.
I didn't. Well, maybe, but
Yeah, it wasn't.
I didn't
It
see
definitely
anywhere.
wasn't.
I had to rent it. You owe me $4.
Okay, it's still here. All right. Actually, let me check the other place too, just to see, because now I'm thinking I could go one of two ways.
Oh,
Ooh.
like to double down on December.
Terminator,
shit.
Dark Fate, baby.
Well,
makes everyone watch that, and Brendan's never seen 1, 2, or anything else.
Yeah, none of it would make any sense. In my head, I was like, oh yeah, I want to watch Licorice Pizza. Should I pick Licorice Pizza? But also, should I just pick Asteroid City if that's still on Peacock?
I want to see here.
Isn't Asteroid City
Peacock.
on Max?
I can tell you if it's on Peacock right now. Oh no, I think it's Max, isn't it? It's one of them.
It was on Peacock. I don't know if it's moved or if it's now double streaming.
Can you not? Did you not Google it?
Well, I just looked up Peacock because I knew it was on Peacock, but
Says
I'm not
it's on
signed in on my
Peacock.
computer.
I really was hoping that you had just Googled Peacock.
Yeah,
let's see if it's on there. Just type Peacock into Google, and this gives me nothing.
It says
This
Asteroid
is-
City's on Peacock, Mike. Is that what you're rolling with?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Thank God. I'd rather watch that than fucking weird.
Fuck, I wanna watch Licorice Pizza.
Weird fucking.
Let's do
Licorice
it.
Pizza.
Let's do a double
Nah.
down.
Nah.
Paul Thomas Anderson. I mean, it's Paul Thomas. That guy's fucking. Brendan, you've probably never even seen a single one of his movies either.
I don't know. Licorice Pizza has a very bizarre dynamic of people that seems like it doesn't need to exist for that movie's plot to also exist. So it's very bizarre. Paul Thomas Anderson. There Will Be Blood, Licorice Pizza, Magnolia, Phantom Thread, Boogie Nights, The Master, Punch Drunk Love. No, I don't watch this guy's movies. The Dirk Diggler Story, Vineland, Coffee and Cigarettes and Coffee. Yeah, none of these movies are anything to me.
Maybe I should have picked Licorice Pizza.
Why?
Because of your immediate disapproval of the film.
I mean, that's not a secret. I've been vocal about that before. I think it's a weird plot. I mean, change it if you want to change it. It's your movie pick. I don't give a fuck either way. Asteroid City definitely looks more interesting to me, personally.
No, I'm already tired.
All right, there we go. Asteroid Pizza.
Asteroid
I
Pizza.
heard
We're
what you
doing a
said.
double feature.
No, we're not doing a double feature. But maybe we're gonna roll something new in for next year. Maybe there's gonna be a double feature dice roll where one person next year gets to pick a double feature for one of their months, or gets the pick during someone else's month as a second movie. Maybe we'll do a little.
I hope I get the double feature because I'm doing Blade Runner 2049. Boom.
There you go.
Or I'm doing Terminator 1, Terminator 2, making Brendan watch both of them.
I mean, I've definitely seen those movies when I was a kid, but did I retain anything? Probably not.
Probably not.
He turns into Alex Mack at some point.
Yep, that's exactly what happens.
Bang. See?
Yeah.
I know. I know movies. But anyways, this is your final call. If you have there's Mike's pick, Asteroid City. Last chance, Mike. You changing it to Licorice Pizza?
No, just watch that in my own time. I don't need to deal with the whole movie thing about it.
Well, there you go. Enjoy what you want to enjoy. So we'll watch Asteroid City and we'll talk about it at some point towards the end of December, with Christmas and New Year's and other things disrupting the end of the year. It may not be the final week. We'll know more as we get closer to that point. But watch that and we'll talk about that at the end. This is your last chance if you have not watched They Live and you still want to watch that before you hear us talk about it. We are going to just jump right in. So this is your final call to pause this episode and come back at a later time, put it in your back pocket, and it will come in handy after you watch the film. But without further ado, you see them on the street. You watch them on TV. You might even vote for one this fall. You think they're people just like you. You're wrong. Dead wrong. That's the poster for John Carpenter's They Live. As we do.
Wait, did you give a synopsis of what you thought it was going to be? Did we do that before? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
No, I don't think we did.
I think we definitely brought it up.
Yeah.
So here,
Well, I don't know if
that's a good. This is what we should do going forward, so that we can keep track of it. On the movie episode, when the person picks their next movie, I should then say what I think it's about. So then it's just always in the movie episode. And if we need to figure out what the fuck dumb shit I said, so Asteroid City, no idea what it's about.
About Tilted Towers. The asteroid crashes into Tilted Towers.
Fucking there it is. It's a Fortnite movie. I know. I've seen the trailer, so at the bare minimum, I know that it's about a space ray gun. I think Tom Hanks is there yelling. I think Scarlett Johansson is also there.
Everyone's in this movie. Like Margot Robbie.
Is Jason Schwartzman also there?
Mhm.
I feel like that's just me naming. Like Owen Wilson's there. Maybe not actually,
I don't think so.
but
Luke
He was
Wilson.
busy that day.
Luke Wilson's in.
is Luke Wilson there? I don't think
I don't
Wilsons
know.
are in it. I don't think there's a Wilson person in this.
I would be surprised if he made a movie and neither of the Wilsons were in it.
They're
Right.
definitely
Wait,
they're
who
definitely
was
not
the
major
main?
roles then.
I could have sworn Luke was the. Who's the father? That's running
Yeah,
around?
it is. It's Luke Wilson,
It's
isn't
Luke
it?
Wilson.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. So what?
Oh, no, it's not.
What do I? Yeah, I told you. I don't think
It's Adrian Brody.
the trailer.
Oh,
the trailer
okay.
definitely didn't have one of them in it, so they might still be in the movie. They just weren't in the trailer. So
I don't see either of the Wilsons. There are a few that we're missing that we have not said, like Willem Dafoe and Ed Norton. But
yeah, so based on the trailer, which I did watch when the trailer came out, I still don't really remember the trailer. I just remember there's a ray gun of some sort, maybe laser gun. So I'm just gonna say, based on the name, the very cool pastel colors and the bright sun, that they are in some sort of nuclear fallout town under government control, and they're trying to break out of that. And maybe they have a laser gun because someone's a scientist, and the scientist is like, fuck the government, I'm gonna science myself out of this situation with a ray gun. That's all I got.
All right.
If I had not watched the trailer, I don't think I would have said any of that. So, but there we are. But as we do with all movie episodes, They Live, with a budget of, oh my goodness, where did the budget go? It's not on Box Office Mojo. They Live budget.
I feel like he always had small budget movies.
yeah, I was gonna say, when did this come out? Because
1988.
It was 80.
According
so it was after. most of his
according
big
to Wikipedia.
Yeah, I think the thing was like 82.
According to Wikipedia, filming with only a budget slightly greater than $3 million, so just over $3 million, opening November 4th, 1988, an hour and 34 minutes long, rated R. How long do you think this bad boy, or how much money do you think this grossed? Sorry,
I was gonna guess an hour and 34 minutes.
you would have been right.
Right on the money. This is one of those movies that I know it has at
Huge
least a
cult
cult.
following.
It has a cult following, but I don't know what that translated to in movie dollars in '88 with John Carpenter's name attached. I feel like the thing was big enough that it should have done something.
I looked up what movies he did though. He did like Assault on Precinct 13. He did he did Halloween. He did so many movies. He Stephen King's Christine. He did Escape from LA, Escape from New York. Yeah, he had like a ton of movies. That was like his peak cinema for John Carpenter.
And
He's
how
80s.
But most
How-
of those movies are cult films.
Yes.
yeah, and how like is Rowdy Roddy Piper putting butts in seats?
In
He was in a bunch of
1988?
stuff back then. Back then,
Yeah,
he was
but
in a bunch of stuff.
does that mean that he was putting butts in seats though? Like you can
don't
be in a
know.
lot of stuff and not put butts in seats.
What else is he in?
Like
I
you can just
forget.
be in a lot of stuff.
Look, I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna say 10 mil.
Okay. Dom, what about you?
I was honestly thinking 10. I'm gonna go 15.
Okay.
15 was my second choice.
Todd, what about you?
Go 1 mil.
No, you're gonna say 1 million.
Yes.
Uh,
I was gonna say 900,000.
we don't play Price is Rights rules normally. I don't think in anything we do. So Dom is the closest. It did 13 million. Now, I've seen some conflicting things when I was looking up because we'll get to my thoughts on this movie, but not yet. But when I was looking up, like, what we'll do next, which is the tomato score, I got conflicting things. So we're going to just go off of what the Rotten Tomatoes website currently right now says. So Mike, tomato.
Currently, right now, like someone is changing it in the
Default.
background.
I will clarify after.
Okay.
Mike, tomato, audience, what do you got?
All right. Tomato. What do the critics think? The critics do love a message, but
What was the message pointed at them?
It's true. It's true. They don't like it when it gets too real and exposes them for what they are. You know, those coastal elite and what have you. So I'm
I
gonna
don't think They Live
say
was pointed at the critics. Was it?
No, but it was pointed at like the media.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Okay.
I mean, it was pointed at, like Mike said, it was pointed at the elite.
Yeah.
yeah, and we all know the elite. Roger Ebert was like, Carpenter again.
Well, there is
Siskel's a little bit more mellow about
actually an on-screen. We can get to that, but there is
Okay.
actually an on-screen like direct like comment to somebody from John Carpenter in this movie.
I bet it was to.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, actually, there are two
Place.
things. There are two things.
Yeah.
At least. Mike.
Do with the mustache and glasses. Anyway, yeah. Let's say geez, even for an 88 film, I don't know how that. I'm gonna just 70-70.
70-70
can't-
split.
Yeah.
Okay. Dom, what about you?
I was gonna go 72-82, honestly.
Okay. Todd.
I know what it is, so
Oh, you
just give me.
fucking piece of shit. Why do you look this shit up?
I looked it up a while ago, but I remember a lot of
Okay.
this shit that I
Alright,
looked
so
up.
Todd's gonna, for once, not just
Bow out
fucking
gracefully.
yeah, not instead of saying like, oh, you know what, I think it's 86-80. It is indeed
Is that what it is?
86-80. So
Oh, see, I
Dom
didn't
is
even know.
the closest on both regards. So I was reading something. I forget. I don't have the tab open for wherever it was from, but basically said that.
I'm surprised the critic score is higher than the audience
So
score.
I think that's a newer like people kind of revisiting the film, and I think initially it had very poor reviews, like back then.
Okay.
That was like my confusing reports of like tomato.
I mean, to be fair, the audience score would also be moving too.
Yeah, but that's always gonna move. I mean, it has 25,000 ratings. But
especially with a movie like this where nobody went to see it initially. Well, there also wasn't the internet, but
yeah. So it's there's critic reviews here from 2018, 2013, 2013, 2023, 2023, 2023, and a lot of those ones seem to say best John Carpenter film ever made. This is not Carpenter's best film, certainly his most ambitious and interesting, but these are all like positive reviews from either this year or within the last 10 years. So I think that the like newer reviews are more favorable of this film, people looking back on it. So overall, am I the only one? This is my first time watching this?
I haven't watched all of this before.
Okay. Mike, is this your first time watching it, or
Yeah.
what are your overall thoughts on the movie?
You know, for a late 80s film, it was fine.
Okay. Did you like it?
I liked it. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would ever. I guess I could see myself revisiting it, but it wasn't. Honestly, I think it was just the music that just kept playing all the time. Honestly, if they had just changed up that song a little bit.
It's so funny you say that because I think about like how like I don't know if like music soundtracks were big with films like original scores back then, but like it's the one thing that stands out to me. Like one of the biggest things that stands out to me is like the score of this movie is just like so.
It's obvious that he did not pay anyone to score this.
No,
movie.
100%. Yeah, no, definitely.
He was
not.
like, okay, let's get one little loop going and then just play it.
What about you, Dom?
We gotta save on cash. We're bringing in Keith David.
Yeah.
Keith David was great in this movie. I think, and I'll get to my opinion after, but I think it might be the only person in the movie who acts well.
I think
I
you're
think
wild
everyone's
to
amazing.
say Roddy Piper does not act well in this movie.
I mean, it's passable. It's fine.
Okay. I thought he was great in the movie. I mean, he's also a professional wrestler. He like had no business starring in this film, and I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, I'm not saying he did a bad job. I just, like the. We'll get to my opinion. What did you think about this movie overall?
I really like the movie. Mike had texted me and said the thing about the music, so like it also kept like getting stuck in my head. Like the other thing I'll say is like it's not even that it was the same loop all the time. It just like there were times where it didn't need like there didn't need to be anything playing in the background. It was just playing that music, and I was like, you could have just let this breathe. Could have just let this scene breathe.
What about you, Todd? Overall, now that you have watched
Like,
it
this
again
is like-
for another time.
So this is like an Army of Darkness movie for me. Like most people are gonna be like, "What the fuck did I just watch?" Or like, "What is this?" But I just like love it. It's like I think it has its place, and I think this movie is. I know this is like cliche because everyone always says this, but I think it's pretty relevant to where we are today. You know, like it's the messaging. You know, like I was reading that like John Carpenter. It was like his take on how capitalism sucks, basically. You know, and that's where we're here more than we are ever right now with the way people discuss capitalism. So
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that that's maybe why there's seemingly a little bit of a surge of like people rewatching the movie critically
100%.
and reviewing it for websites or whatever.
In some ways, I think the movie's ahead of its time. Like, and maybe you guys might disagree with me, but like I felt like it looked pretty good.
Literally, none of us were alive when it came out. You were like 72, but we were all not alive.
I feel like it looked pretty decent for a 1988 movie. Like, I don't think it looked. I didn't feel like I was watching this like really poorly made, like fucking like shitty like set pieces and everything. I thought it looked like pretty good. It holds up, I think.
Yeah. No, I think it holds up visually. There are things about this movie I think are really well done and they really hold up. It's weird. I don't think
you know what's so funny about this?
Go ahead.
I was supposed to say this one thing. So like, I don't know when I think I want to say like late 90s, people started complaining like these guys never reload their guns. And then all of a sudden it became a thing in like 1995 and on. Like you started seeing people reloading their guns in movies more because like everyone was like, dude, how many bullets has this guy got? You know, kind of thing.
So in a post John Wick world, literally action movies to me are just like, I don't care. Like this is not there's no care. Not that there's no care, but like John Wick is obviously very, very careful about like how many bullets and like using environmentals. Like it's like way beyond like any other movie that I've ever seen that like takes that stuff into account in an action scene. And I think it's
a stuntman directing a movie.
Yeah, and I think for that reason, it like elevates all of the action in those films. And like most movies aren't going to do that, and it's whatever. Like it's suspension of disbelief. That's what every fucking movie is. Like it is what it is. But it's funny you say that, Todd, because I don't watch a lot of action movies, and I definitely don't watch a lot of like old action movies. And like the end parts of the film where fucking Roddy Piper, and Keith David is running around and it's just like just like that. And every time they shoot, it's just a close up of the gun barrel.
The gun barrel.
He ran out of bullets, and he just threw the automatic weapon that he had
down the stairs. Like, and that was like because that whole time I was like, all right, this guy's just been shooting this forever. I've never seen him reload, and then he just throws the gun down the fucking stairs. Like, all right,
it was like how long can we get away with this before somebody questions? All right, it's about this point. So at this point, we have to ditch the gun.
This assault rifle that maybe has like 30 bullets. I've shot probably 700, but right now is the time. I like maybe that's a little harsh to say the acting was not great, because it's not that the acting was bad. It is also an old movie, so like and he's also a wrestler.
I thought the worst actor in the movie was the girl. I forget her name.
The girl,
she took me out of the movie.
She's pretty bad.
Yeah,
part of it for me was like I didn't know if it was deliberate, because she was odd all the way.
Yeah,
all the way through.
Yeah, that's
she
true.
gets kidnapped. He's like, "Hey, take a look at these glasses," and it's like he wants to look at the TV, and then she knocks him out the window, right? And she's super calm and collected, like making phone call. Hey, can someone come by? I'm like, lady, I believe you think you killed a man.
So,
and you're super blasé about. I'm like, oh, clearly she must be in on it, right?
so that's what I thought
There you go.
initially. I thought that she was in on it, which if that's what it was, it would make sense why she's acting that way. But she wasn't in on it, so like then it was more confusing when the acting was like that because I'm like, she was not in on it. Which we'll get.
Wasn't in on it.
Well, okay. Well, we'll get to that. We will get to that because I already. So, okay, hold on.
I'm confused.
Hold on. So you're saying
Did everybody
that
finish the film?
So you're saying that at the end of the movie, when she comes into their base, she is like leading.
Why would she go back to the base?
Because she put the glasses on. And saw
Why
the
would she
truth.
go back to the base otherwsee? Everybody else ran away and got away from the people. And
Are you talking about their
David-
headquarters though? Like,
Yeah.
or like, yeah. She like led the people there, basically.
That's what I figured. I figured she led the-
okay. I didn't think about that because I was confused
Yeah.
at the end. Well,
That's why I didn't understand. Like, did you watch the end of the movie?
Yes,
like
'cause
she
part of
led
it-
them right to them. She like
again, part of it was also confusion of they went through a fucking portal and were seemingly in like some spacecraft or something.
I think they say
think they were just-
they say they're underground. They're like,
they were
we
just underground. They opened
maybe
a
I missed
portal to underground, and then they went up into the building.
Huh? Maybe I missed that.
Yeah, I mean, I could
Because
see
I
how
thought
it'd be
that I
confusing,
thought
but,
they
like,
had gone somewhere else, and that's why when like they ended up back in the fucking TV studio, I was like, how are they back here without? All right, that changes the end of the movie for me because I was like,
That's
that
why I
doesn't
didn't
make any
understand what
sense
you were
to me.
talking about. Like
Okay.
the end of the movie, she's like obviously in on it. That's why when you said like,
that is
well,
another
if she was
reason
in on it, I
why.
was like,
Because when the movie finished, I looked at Jenna and I was like, "How did this lady just end up here and now she's bad? Like I don't understand what just happened." So I must have somehow missed that line of dialogue because I was so confused.
I don't even know if there was dialogue. It was just like
don't think there
I
was
think there
dialogue,
was
yeah.
dialogue. 'Cause I think
Was
one of them
there?
said like I think we're underground, like they're underground
Oh.
tunnels or whatever.
Yeah, because I mean they had like again they walked into that room that had like the portal that could send them to different places or different planets, and it was like, oh okay, they're in space clearly because that's fucking space. But I guess no, it's just a screen. I don't know.
it was I don't know. It was a teleporter to other planets. Like I'm
Yeah, but
gonna,
it wasn't.
I'm
It
gonna
wasn't.
leave that one
But it
as
wasn't.
like
But it wasn't just a teleporter. It was looking out into space.
Yeah, it was looking out into space.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
just assumed that they were in space.
I get why that
That's
would be
why
fair.
I assumed. That's why I was confused when they ended up in the TV station again. I was like, "What?" But now, knowing that makes more sense that they're in the TV station. It also makes more sense that she led them there. That it all makes much more sense now. So yeah, now her acting is less in question because she was clearly like
I mean,
calm because she's like, yeah, no, I got this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
it was still questionable.
But
I feel
even
like she
then,
didn't know how to play. I don't think she knew
Yeah.
how to play a double crossing character,
Yeah.
and that was her way of like. And I just think she was like probably not the
Yeah.
best choice of an actress, and she just is like she thought she was probably doing a great job being this like, is she bad guy? Is she the good guy
But
kind
I'm
of thing?
confused
And she
though,
was
because
like,
does he not look at her with the glasses? So she's just a human.
not-
That is
she
Correct.
was a human.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
just like
working with him.
just like the
Like the other
foreman on
guy.
the
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
So, all right. So to pull it back quick to just say my overall thoughts on the film, the movie itself definitely had its like low moments for me and like kind of boring parts, and I think where the movie like really kept me interested was in its messaging and like its iconography. Like it's very like once he puts the glasses on and you start seeing the stuff through that lens, like I don't know if this was the intention behind it, but like obviously billboards and magazines and anything you're buying like changes to have obey or, you know, reproduce and marry. It has all these things on it, like these commands, and which is obviously very, very striking and powerful. But I again, I don't know if this is the point, but like I was thinking about why are the glasses in black and white? And
Is he seeing in black and white?
I don't know if you're saying what I'm trying to say, or
There's no
like
he's removing
there's
the
no gray
veil.
area.
There's
It's
just
just
black and
yes,
white.
okay, yeah. That's what I was gonna say, and I was like,
Yes.
I don't know if that was the intention, but it just like fucking hits it real well.
That first scene when he puts on the glasses is so good. It's still like even rewatching it is so good when it's just like, and that's when I was like, man, this movie does not feel like a 1980s movie during that scene. I was like, that whole scene's like so ahead of its time for that
Yeah.
time period. There's really nothing else like this movie from that era.
like the lead up to those parts, like the beginning of the movie, I think has its like specifically the beginning of the movie has some slow points where I'm just like, all right, dude, like let's get to where this is going, and I think once it gets there and starts doing those things, it was, entertaining, and it was something that like I'll definitely be thinking about the imagery in this movie probably for a long time. I forget the artist's name, but the artist that made Obey, the clothing line, that basically based his clothing brand off of this movie. I didn't know that was also the artist that did like the Obama Hope thing. I did not know that.
Oh, really? Weird.
Yeah.
I love the way the aliens look. Like just looking at dumps.
They're so
I think it
good.
looked, like so cool.
They're so good. Like, and I was confused. Well, until they reveal that they're aliens, I was like, are they supposed to be fucking zombies? Which I think would also make sense, like just like for the themes of the film that it's talking about. And that's kind of the one reveal I wish wasn't the case. I wish that they weren't aliens. Like, I wish that they were just revealed as like the elite controlling us and not like some other thing that was calling. I guess it's just like the like the upper elite, for like lack of better definition. It's just
and
like
those people in the hall were technically the upper elite. Fucking at the end there.
But like I think it would have. And maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just to add that sci-fi element to like.
I think the idea is just that like humans aren't inherently bad, and that there was some outside force like
provoking
puppeting.
it. Yeah. Maybe.
Also, I think it just makes it's just better for imagery's sake to be like, all right, I can see the truth now. How would you indicate that these guys are like the bad guys without something like that happening?
Yeah. I think you could still have, like, they could have been just like, zombies or ghouls, and it's like, these drones that are controlling us. You know what I mean?
Zombies can't be smart enough to control people. That's not their bag.
I guess,
I will say it was hilarious how quickly he went from what's going on to, well, I guess I better shoot everybody. Like he's on
drifter.
a dime.
He's a drifter. He was waiting for that moment.
He's a drifter, also kind of dumb.
Does anybody know? So it's never mentioned in the film. I know Brenden knows because he's got the screen up. Does anyone know what the character's name is?
I saw it during the credits. When I saw it in the
bad.
credits, I'm like, they never said that, did they? And I forget
I
what
don't
it
know
was.
if they ever say
weird.
his name.
Nada.
Yeah, I knew it was
Nada?
something.
Nada is his name.
Which is sure.
Yeah,
You've got Nada.
Or maybe it's just supposed to like he's in the turn, like in the hierarchy of the film, in the like film's plot and characters. He's nothing. Yeah, I guess
He's at the bottom. He has nothing.
I guess that makes sense. It's still not a great name for the character, maybe, but
they never used it. It was obviously just like a script thing.
Oh, so I just looked it up. The name is most likely a reference to George Nada, the main character of Ray Nelson's short story, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, well, that's what the movie's based off of.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a fun fact that I think is kind of a wild fact about this movie and just about John Carpenter in general, because I don't know really much about John Carpenter. But this is according to IMDb. The screenplay writer for They Live is credited to Frank Armitage. Do any of you know who that is?
I feel like I've heard that name.
Yeah.
So
I also know that name.
Okay, well, he does not exist. John Carpenter
Really?
used many pseudonyms when giving credit to work in his films. With his vast amount of work that he did himself, directing, producing, writing, and composing the musical scores, your favorite musical scores, he did not want to appear to be braggadocious and vain by having his name appear over and over and over again. So he just put fake names in his movies.
Frank Armitage is a painter for Disney.
Okay, well,
That's why I recognize
all right,
the name.
that's fair. But I thought it was funny that like It's
He
like
painted,
it's
he painted Peter Pan and Sleeping Beauty and Jungle Book and stuff. So
it's just like an interesting
that is what I
tidbit
recognize the name at least.
about John Carpenter that
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want
I
to
wonder
seem
if
like
he
a
got on the
douchebag.
Fortnite event today.
Probably.
Let's find out. We should have got him on the podcast for this episode.
I know.
Yeah, loves his
He
kids.
probably would have come on.
All right, let's get him for the next one. We'll have him pick
I'll
a
pick
movie.
the-
We'll have him pick.
I'll
a movie.
pick the thing next. The next movie. We'll do the thing.
Yeah. Other thing about this movie, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of scenes with homeless people. Apparently, John Carpenter brought real homeless people in for the production and like paid them for that work.
So,
That's nice.
What action? We've talked about the action stuff a bit. Did anyone like the action of this movie?
I thought it was fine. The only scene that I was like, "What are we doing?" was when Keith David and Roddy Piper
When they're
are
fighting in the
wrestling.
valley.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that
I
fight
was like,
scene.
why are we still doing this?
No, I love
Yeah,
that
but
fight
I
scene.
don't know.
It
goes
fine.
on long. It goes on long.
Yeah. We got a couple power bombs in, and then like I was like,
We
all
really
right, you're keeping Keith David in this wrestling match, Roddy. Why are we still doing this after like 5 minutes?
Yeah, it was long, but I did appreciate that. Like, I'm curious if they were. I mean, I'm sure Roddy Piper was actually doing the action scenes. Was Keith David also doing the action scenes?
In that wrestling scene, Roddy Piper is a professional wrestler. I imagine that he probably told Keith David, like, you don't have to do anything. I'll take care of this.
Yeah,
like he could make Keith David look like he was doing everything.
Yeah, and like some of that scenes, like some of the shots in that fight scene in particular, are like not cuts. Like it's long shots. So like. Yeah. I was kind of like, oh, this, like, especially if that's actually Keith David, like, in the scenes, too. I'm like, he's holding his own in these scenes, and, like, these scenes are good. Like, it's not bad action. It was probably, for me, the best action in the movie. It was, like, I thought it was pretty well choreographed. I still am still thinking about it, and I'm thinking about it now. I don't understand why he gets in the garbage truck, and the garbage truck dumps all the garbage out and drives away. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
What didn't make sense to me in that
garbage truck driver like started saying something in the cab, and it was like sounded like he was like, all right, I'm pissed at these people. Like I'm gonna drop the thing, but he didn't know the back was open.
Yeah, he didn't know the back was open. I don't know why.
Like, your plan was to just drive with the fucking thing scraping the ground the whole time?
Yeah. I don't understand why. Because, am I going to call him Nod or am I going to call him.
Whatever makes you happy, Mike.
He's in there looking for the glasses, right? He finds the glasses. I feel like he was pretty close to the edge. Like, he could have got the glasses and then got out. Instead, the thing starts to dump, and you would think he would just use that opportunity, like, all right, I'm getting out. But it seemed like he was trying to crawl back in as if he did not want to leave the garbage truck.
I thought the whole
I
point
wonder
of that
if he was trying to get more glasses. Because he only seemingly came out with like the box. And two pairs of glasses?
Yeah.
I thought the whole point of that part was going to be that he was going to get
But even if that's the case,
like not like
he dumped all the garbage out, so like that's out the glasses.
I know. He could have just gone through all the trash.
You know what else is wicked funny too? When they're in the alley right before they jump into the portal, there's one scene where Roddy's just got the gun. He's like,
some of the gunshot scenes are really just him standing up in like a crouched over, and he's just zipping the gun back and forth, and I'm like, come on.
That's literally 80s action.
Yeah,
it really
is.
Go ahead.
Just like, I'm sure I could find a gif of Sylvester Stallone, the same in Rambo, like exactly the same shot, just with his shirt off.
Listen, Roddy Piper did find at least like 3 opportunities to be shirtless in this movie for, I think, really no reason.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, I feel like generally he like wears his shirts. Like he's not like, I feel like he's not generally a wrestler that like is
listen,
like
when he's fucking got a pickaxe and he's on the construction site, sure, makes sense. Have your shirt off.
Yeah.
But like,
and Keith David's like, ooh, look at that guy.
He does like look over and check him out. He really does check him out. I was confused at that. I was like, what was the point of that? Because he like stops, checks him out, and then he like fixes his hat. He's like, I guess I'll go back to work too. It's like, what?
I was under the impression that he like looked at him and was like, oh, this guy like actually gives a shit about, like, he's actually
yeah, I guess that makes, I mean, yes, I think he was checking him out. No, it was probably something like that. It was just it with a childish brain come across as like, what?
Yeah. The only thing that made me think of that is that, like, after that, Keith David, like, is talking to him, and, like, he was like, yeah, I have to be here. Like, I'm sending money back to my family. Like, I have a reason to be here. So, like, it made it seem like he looked at Roddy Piper and was like, this guy also has a reason to be here. Like, he actually gives a shit about working.
Yeah. I feel like you were going to say something, Mike, and we cut you off.
I don't remember. The only thing I
Something
can
about
think
shirtless
of,
Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Maybe.
oh, that's right. So anyway, he got all oiled up. I was thinking about
but only right here.
only like there's a very specific chest area that needs to be oiled up. So in terms of action, the only thing that really stuck out to me was early in the film when the cops came in and started beating up the people from the church, and it was just like when they were beating up the blind preacher, it was just very
In the alley.
Yeah, in the alley. I'm like, this is, I mean, whatever. It's the 80s. It's not going to look very convincing, but it gets the job across.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they were also aliens at that point, right?
I don't. The police. Well, no, I don't. I feel like they say outright, like a lot of the police are just people who are following orders.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the ones that Roddy first encounters are all aliens.
Yeah, I guess that is true, right?
Yeah, I think the idea was that like a lot of the police had started to like catch on that something was going on, and they were just like, "Yeah, we'll take the money."
Okay.
I thought that was the message that I had gotten from that.
As somebody who does not watch, I don't think, any other John Carpenter film, but I've seen 80s films, and I know 80s, especially action films, tend to have at least one like catchphrase or marketable phrase from the hero.
They went for it in this movie.
Does John Carpenter usually do that in his movies?
No.
So Jen was half watching the movie. She didn't really want to watch the movie.
He doesn't.
I feel
like John Carpenter's movies aren't action movies.
Yeah, and I guess that makes sense. So Jen didn't want to watch the movie, but I watched it downstairs while she was there. So at certain points, she paid attention just because she was like looking up from her phone or whatever she was doing, and because especially when Roddy Piper had his multiple catchphrases or like lines like that, she said, "Oh, maybe it's because she's like Roddy Piper used to be like heavy catchphrase in wrestling. He was like very good at like shit talking and had a lot of phrases. But the one that stuck it out to me, I mean, the one that I think probably most people would say is the chew bubblegum, I'm out of bubblegum. But for me, I wrote down when I forget what part of the movie it happens in. Fuck. But he walks in and he goes, "Mama don't like tattletales," and then fucking shoots people. So I'm like, what? I was like, what is this guy saying right now?
It is.
It's someone. It's someone on their watch. I think it's in the bank.
I think right before the guy disappears.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in the bank. Yeah. It's still in the bank.
Yes.
The
so it's right after Chew Gum.
The bank scene is just like, all right, let's see how many things we can get to stick
out there.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I don't know. The action is kind of all over the place. I do think it works, but also kind of pissed me off. I feel like Frank's death is so abrupt, but it also, I guess, kind of just makes sense in like the things are flipping real quick, like resolution to the movie. But I thought it was kind of a shitty death for that character. I was like, yeah,
for both of them, like they both just fucking. I do like the flip off at the when he's just like barely gets the middle finger up.
So that
honestly.
Oh,
Roddy Piper kind of has it coming for believing this girl for literally no reason. His one interaction with her after kidnapping her was he threw him out of. He tried to,
or she tried to kill him.
She tried to kill him, and then she shows up. He's like, "Oh, you see, it's all work." She said it's clean. Like, wait, bro,
you just wanted to get laid, man. That's it. That's all he's true.
He's trying to get piped up. Roddy piped up. Right. That was one of the things that I read that was like. Him giving a middle finger at the end of the movie is like a direct like to the critics of like about his movies, because then also in like the end of the film where it's like he breaks the satellite and for some reason that lets people see everything, which I don't know if I understand.
It was the satellite was supposed to be the thing that was like
blocking it.
was masking everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he does that, and then it's being revealed, and people can see stuff. In one of those scenes, there's like someone on TV. It says John Carpenter's name, and he's like, John Carpenter making these violent movies. He's got to stop doing or whatever. Like, so that was like the second one
John
of like
Carpenter
a direct call out.
And George Romero.
George Romero,
Yeah,
that's what
yes,
they said.
yeah.
Yes. I couldn't remember who the other one was.
But I liked that, like the end of the film with those like reveals and like different settings of like guy at the bar and everyone's like slowly looking. Obviously, like the two people having sex and the what's wrong, honey? Like it's just, or whatever. Like it's just it was a good end to the movie of like, oh shit, the fucking the curtain's been peeled back.
Cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah, I mean,
I think this is a good movie to watch with this is a really good movie to watch together with people too that have never seen it, because it's just kind of like, you know, one of those things. Like I would like to go see this in a movie theater, like they used to do with like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like if everyone like going.
I mean, they probably play it. I would be shocked if they don't regularly play it at the Salem Cinema. They probably do roll this in once in a while.
I would be shocked if I went to see Rocky Horror Picture Show in theaters and anyone hadn't seen it before.
Oh, in a theater? Yeah, most of the people going there have seen it.
Oh, I saw they recite the whole movie. I went to it in Boston too, and like there's not a single person that doesn't see the whole movie.
Yeah,
me and Mike had our own personal experience with that.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys went to the Harvard Square one?
No.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen it.
We didn't have to leave the comfort of our room for that experience.
Was it in WPI?
We brought the show to us.
Yes.
Do you guys like that movie?
I kind of do, but like the first time I ever saw it, the first time I ever saw that movie was with the people who all seen it, and I was the only person in the theater that had never seen it. Yeah.
Who's like the lead? Is it Vincent Price? No, who is it? It's not Vincent Price.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, that's who it is.
Yeah. And Susan Sarandon. I think Tim Robbins in it too?
No.
No, I'm just thinking
It's,
that they're married.
I can't remember what the guy's. I can't remember who the guy is.
Yeah, I can't. I'm picturing like young Alec Baldwin, but I know it's not that.
I don't know. Meatloaf is there.
Yes, Meatloaf is there.
But I think overall, I appreciate when things, whether they're a great movie or book or game or whatever or not, I appreciate when things have ideas and themes and try to say something. And though I think, again, like, you know, some of the movie was kind of whatever, I think overall, like the iconography here, like the themes being shown and talked about, I think make this a movie that I think people should definitely see. Like I don't know, I feel weird saying I think this is a movie you should go see because I think it's a good movie, if that makes sense. But I think it's like a good movie to go see because it's like thought provoking. I don't know, like it was enjoyable. But like Mike said at the beginning, I don't know if I'd watch it again. But I don't know. Maybe I would. I don't really know.
Yeah. Clearly, you
missed the second half of the movie.
Yeah, so you might need to just rewatch it.
No, I just did not. I missed that one part at the end. That's why I was confused. Literally,
pretty important.
Literally,
pretty important
half
part.
the notes in my notes in my phone are, how the fuck did Holly get here? Why are they already back in the movie studio? I was like, that was my big like. How is the end of this movie this way?
I thought you didn't know that she shot Keith David too. I was like, wait, did you not know that she did you miss that whole?
No, I'm the one that said that. What are you talking about?
No, but you said like, because at the beginning you said like she wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah,
I didn't say she wasn't a bad guy. I said she had flipped. She had flipped. She put the glasses on. That's what I assumed was going on.
Then why would she have shot? I'm confused.
No.
At the beginning, you were like had said something about Holly that like she wasn't a bad guy.
No, before you had revealed to me that she
She was a bad guy.
says she was the bad guy. That's why I was confused about the end of the movie, that she kills Frank and then tries to stop Nada, because I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, okay. So you thought she just like had a flip like in the staircase?
No, I just thought that the end of the movie had like had like a plot hole. Like I thought it was just like it fucked up, and I was like, what? Or that maybe it was like one of the aliens, a fucking shapeshifter or something. I don't fucking know. Like that's what I had thought. That like there was something else, that I just missed a critical piece of information. So on me, not on John Carpenter.
Damn, I just had a thought and now I lost it.
I just love that John Carpenter's a huge gamer now too. It makes me so happy. He doesn't give a fuck about film anymore. He just wants to play video games. He like comments on like every video game that comes out.
You gotta get Scorsese on that boat too. Jeez.
Right?
I feel like Roddy Piper could have gone about his whole thing so much smarter. I feel like
he is not a good hero.
But he came from like a broken home, so like, you know, like it makes sense that he's fucking not the brightest bulb, you know, like it's just fucking never, you know, just fucking a wanderer.
He's just a drifter looking for a paycheck.
Yeah. I feel like had he made some attempt, he just said, "Put on these glasses. Put on these glasses." I feel like he just explained, like, "Hey, listen, I got these glasses from the church where those guys were going. That, you know, something was going on. If you put these on, you will see these things. Yada yada yada." But he's just like, "Put them on," and then they kick each other in the balls.
Was that scene kind of like one of those things where like people? It's kind of like the people who don't want to get pulled out of the Matrix kind of thing. Is that what Keith did? I mean, even though he didn't know what was really going on, it was like his way of like, you know, like I don't want to know. I don't want to know. You know, like
that was also like the impression that I was getting was that he was like, I'm comfortable. Like I don't want to know anymore.
Kind of like Cypher in the Matrix when he's like, you know, ignorance is bliss. And he's like, I just rather like live in the Matrix, you know?
I didn't get that sense. I got the sense that he found out that Nada went around, as far as the world's concerned, shooting people left and right, no discernible reason. And he did not make a good case to explain himself. Like he tried to a little bit, but I think he could have done more. But that's just me. Yeah. And
that's the way it goes.
And that's the way the news goes.
Does anyone? Actually, I do have one more question. I don't know if anyone knows the answer. Why is the movie called They Live?
They live, we sleep.
Bang.
Does it say that? Does it say that in some of the scenes?
Literally written on the wall in the church. And when Roddy Piper goes back in after the police raid the church, it's painted over.
Interesting. I definitely like.
And then he puts his hand over the paint and realizes it's dry, so he kicks the fucking door open. He could have just opened the door, but
wait a minute. Why did they hide the box of sunglasses? Wasn't that whole place full of boxes of those sunglasses?
No, the rest of the place was the lab, and it was like they were hiding the sunglasses. I don't know why. It was like their storage area was like that hidden area.
Okay. That's what I want to check.
And now I remember going through all of like the test tubes and shit.
Yeah. And now I remember the thing I was thinking about before. When they end up in the underground little, you know, meet and greet or whatever, and the foreman walks up like, "Hey, you boys, part of the thing, huh? Blah, 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 blah." My guy, everyone else is dressed to the nines, and these two guys show up looking utterly bewildered, wearing their jeans and button-up flannel.
He's
like,
not
he's like, "Oh, you just joined? I knew you guys would make it." It's like, you know, these men did not make enough money to immediately join the club. It's like, "Oh, let me take you on a tour. I'm the guy that takes people on tours, you see?" You're not.
I think he was just happy to be involved. He was like, "Oh shit, I got some newbies that I can take around."
Yeah, right.
Make it look like I'm a big shot here.
I know you guys.
the guy that gives him the watch and he's like, "Oh, I've been trying to figure out how to use this thing." That guy, when he has to shoot a gun shortly after in that scene, might be the worst use of a
dies
gun.
in like 2 seconds.
The worst
Oh, wait,
use
not-
of a gun in that entire movie. It's so
And
bad. I'm pretty sure he shoots the ceiling.
And that's why he couldn't figure out how to make the watch work. Meanwhile, Keith David like dropped it. It's like,
Opened it.
hey, you've activated the emergency response thing. This door is going to open up for 7 seconds. So hop on in. No questions asked.
Roddy Piper, shoot as many guys as you can before you jump in here.
Yeah.
It's a silly time.
Great
The
film.
girl that we said's like a terrible actress. She's in the Lords of Salem, the Rob Zombie movie he filmed in Salem.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of good actors in those movies.
Yeah, I think I've maxed out what I have to say about They Live. Does anyone have any final thoughts on John Carpenter's They Live?
Maybe
I'm
I'll just
just-
go all cult movies like this for next year. That's maybe what I'll do. I'll just we'll go in Army of Darkness next.
All right.
What were you gonna say, Dom?
I was gonna say, are there any more questions that you had about things that were very blatantly revealed to us in the film?
I don't know if the asking why the movies They Live is that controversial.
I will send you a picture of like it's literally painted on the wall.
Listen, that still doesn't necessarily say why is the movie called They Live.
I mean, they live, we sleep. That was the message behind the church.
I don't love that.
But why male models?
I don't love that when he is running from the police when they break the homeless camp and destroy the church, that he watches.
The police show up with their bulldozers.
Yeah. But I don't really like that he decides to watch them beat the blind guy, and then he's like, "Hey, you guy in the corner that no one's bothering, I'm gonna save you from this situation." Roddy Piper was fucking people up the whole movie. He easily could have fucked up those two cops.
He climbs in the window and then doesn't shut the window too, and that's I'm like, dude, just fucking shut the window, man.
When he gets the glasses and he gets cornered by the cops, like he had no problem fucking throwing up a clothesline and taking that dude out and then shooting the other one in the head.
There was 5 or 6 cops, and they were already beating up that blind man, which I would argue, yeah, I guess that's
blind. What are you
for the
gonna
cops.
do? You know, like
But also, like, he's a blind preacher. You don't need that many cops to beat up one blind preacher.
Apparently
God's
they
not
did.
going to come down.
Apparently they did. I liked it though.
He had the power of God and anime on his side.
God clearly checked out, and I think he's watching the wrong anime.
Has your opinion changed, Mike, after this conversation? Because you seemed pretty soft on the movie.
No, I'm about the same. I think the reasons that we discussed are the reasons why I was soft on it.
Okay, that's fair.
So, like, it's a fine film. I didn't hate it. It was just a bunch of weird things that happened that made me go, is that the choice to make? But again, probably for its time.
Yeah.
I want more movies like this movie, but like modern day movies that are kind of just like,
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm looking for.
Like Get
trying
Out.
to think of. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Give me more of that.
Yeah, Jordan Peele has that going for him right now.
He does 100% because Nope's the same way too. Yeah.
And I feel like there's another director that I just thought of, and
I gotta let this cat out.
it just left me.
I don't want to make you guys watch Beau is Afraid because I feel like everyone like either hates or loves that movie. But like I think that movie's going to be a huge cult fucking movie down the line. Like not like Hereditary, not like because everyone likes Hereditary for the most part and Midsummer, but like Beau is Afraid, it's not a scary movie. It's just like it sums up like I felt anxious watching the movie and it summed up how I feel when I have anxiety so well. To like the point that I was like, oh man, this is like he's like nailing the feeling of anxiety right now.
Yeah, he's got a bit of that.
Yeah,
John Carpenter
I
to him,
definitely
too.
don't want to watch that if that's what that movie's about. Like, I have crippling anxiety. I don't need to watch a movie about
this
that.
dude. I mean, it's just like the Joaquin Phoenix is like just like an anxious person who doesn't like leaving his like we leave our house. This dude's like someone who just like never wants to leave his house ever. Like,
Bro, I don't want to leave my house. Like,
I don't either, man. I don't. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't, man.
Yeah. Anyways, I think that's a good place to stop then. If no one else has anything else to say, anybody?
Nope.
Good pick, Todd. Finally, you're picking something that
I feel like I wanted to go a little weird, and I feel like we haven't done really many movies pre like 1990. Like we've mostly just done like modern day movies.
That's fair.
Listen, you used to be the movie guy, and you've gained a little bit. You've kind of stepped back in that direction with this pick. All right, you used to be the guy. I'm like, oh yeah, Todd's got the movie opinions.
The only reason you have that is because I picked Hereditary. I feel like every other movie.
Absolutely
really
not.
liked mine.
No,
You
absolutely
like
not.
Donnie Darko. You like the good guys. The nice
Donnie
guys.
Darko's
You
good.
like.
Donnie Darko was good.
You know,
Good guys.
that's
Was
what I'm
good.
saying. I feel like I
No,
like
hold
a lot
on.
of these picks.
I really got to pull up all the fucking movies and go
No, you
back
have to
through.
pull
We
them up.
do this every movie.
No, yeah, you don't have to do that.
We go, oh, you normally have good picks, or oh, you normally have bad picks. And it's like, oh, am I going to pull up the list of all the picks again? And then you don't actually have a list of these picks. You're just like scrolling through episode titles.
I have to scroll.
And it takes you 45 minutes to
Yep.
accumulate the 3 films.
Who picked Arrival?
Todd.
Boom,
That
another
was fine.
classic.
It was all right. Classic is, I think, a strong word. It was fine. It was all right. I think I liked it. Who picked
Like the
Blackberry?
last.
Dom?
That
Yeah,
movie was so
Blackberry
good.
was good. Manchester by the Sea. I pick Slam Dunks, Todd. I pick fucking masterpieces.
That's like a movie you never want to watch again, though. It's a
Yeah,
fucking
I'll never
amazing
watch
movie.
that again.
Like, you
That was
never
good.
watch
That was
it again.
A Scanner Darkly. Not a fan.
I
Not a
enjoyed
big
it.
fan. It was all right. That was Mike's pick, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Peanut Butter Falcon. That was Todd.
Dom.
Oh,
Oh,
Dom?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it was Todd.
No,
I'm a big
No,
wrestler
Todd.
guy. I just picked.
Yeah,
movies
I
that
picked a lot of
wrestling.
wrestling movies this year.
It was all right. It's funny because I forgot that you had said whenever you picked They Live or brought it up at some point, one of you had said like, "Oh, Roddy Piper's in that movie," and then that information left my brain. And when I watched the movie and he
Not
walks,
Roddy Piper's in that movie. Roddy Piper is the
lead.
star.
It's the movie, yeah, right.
well, because Jake the Snake is in Peanut Butter Falcon, right?
Yeah.
Now
Now I got to go through Arrival again and just make sure there's no wrestlers in there.
Right. I'm pissed, kind of. I should have just went for the trifecta.
Well, it's funny you should mention that because Forrest Whitaker had a very long career.
Right.
Who picked Bullet Train? Mike?
Me, yeah.
That was all right. I wish that movie was better, to be honest.
I
Nope.
thought it was better than what I thought it was going to be. Nope was me. I love
Oh,
Nope.
Todd had a double
I
fucking
said-
feature. Nope and Barbarian. Ugh.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Little Shop. Oh, this is Dom's musical year.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Little
skip
Shop
all
of Horrors,
those.
dude.
I'm gonna skip all those.
Little Shop of Horrors is like
da-da-da-da.
one of my.
Yeah,
That's
Little
a
Shop of Horrors,
classic.
great.
So
Who
good.
picked Booksmart? That's a Mike pick.
That was me.
That was all right. I wanted more from that movie personally. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was good. All right, Todd has had some redemption in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
Todd's
that's what I'm saying.
Todd's
I feel
redeemed
like,
himself.
I feel like here's the problem. If I pick a horror movie, usually you're like, "Fuck Todd." Todd's pick suck. You know? Like,
No,
That is-
you've
that is
barely
true.
picked horror movies. You've picked one horror movie. Well, nope. Sure.
Hereditary. Yeah,
And
I don't think
Barbarian.
Technically, They Live is probably considered.
I think it
a
is
horror movie.
considered a
Yeah,
horror movie.
like mystery, suspense, horror. Yeah.
Like, I mean, Dom picked Creep. I still think about that fucking axe. I hate that fucking movie.
I was just gonna say at the end of that movie.
Ugh. I mean, Ex Machina was good, but that fucked me up too.
That movie's fucking great, yeah.
That was Mike's pick, right?
Yeah.
Annihilation. That should be the next
Bro,
movie. Then.
I'm sorry, taking you down a couple pegs. Gross Point Blank was not good.
So it's so
It's fine.
funny you say that because I saw something like on Facebook. It was like 20 movies, and everyone's like, pick one row. Every fucking comment was the best movie on this list is Gross Point Blank, so I'm picking that row. Like legit. Like I was like,
Get the
whoa,
fuck
okay, people
outta
are on my
here.
side. I was like, let's go. I was shocked because there were some good movies on this list too, and I was
Gross
like,
Point
not
Blank,
expecting.
trash. You know what I watched the other
Oh,
day?
man, I
That's
love
not
that
trash. Empire Records.
Empire Records is amazing. So
He's
good.
also in there, right? It's the same guy. Isn't it the same as John?
no,
Cusack?
you're thinking of High Fidelity. You're thinking of
Oh, High Fidelity.
Oh, no,
Sorry,
you're
High
think-
Fidelity is what I
You're
watched.
thinking of Hot Tub Time Machine.
I have not seen that.
High
Movie.
Fidelity is amazing. It's
I don't
a great
think I've
movie.
seen Hot Tub
You
Time
haven't seen
Machine.
Hot Tub Time Machine?
I don't think so. I think that came out
I think
during
it's fun.
WPI years because I think you guys probably saw it out there. John Hughes, is that John Hughes the director? And John
John
Cusack's
Hughes,
the
yeah.
actor?
Yes, John Cusack is the actor that we're referencing.
in both of those
John Hughes
movies.
is a director.
Did John Hughes do either of those
He
movies?
did like Say Anything. He did like
Did he
he did
Grosse
like
Point
16
Blank?
candles.
16 Candles.
No.
Oh. Did he do High Fidelity?
Breakfast Club.
No.
Oh, Breakfast
he
Club.
died,
Oh,
like,
that's why John Hughes came up, because Breakfast Club was on a month or two ago when Mike was over.
The picture I sent you of the radio today was like, that's John Hughes.
Yeah. What movie is that from?
Say anything.
Okay. Fucking.
Oh yeah, that's the both of them.
Mike was over and Jen was watching TV and Breakfast Club was on. That's what was on in the background while we were making drinks, and that movie fucking sucks. I'm sorry. I think that movie's trash. Not
John
trash.
Hughes'
I just think it's not a good movie.
His best movie is Uncle Buck. I believe that's John Hughes. But Uncle Buck,
Uncle Buck might be him.
John Hughes, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller, 16 Candles, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's his best movie.
Oh, Planes, Trains, yeah. There you go.
Pretty in Pink.
Is it?
Uncle Buck.
Is what I just... Uncle Buck, okay.
Home Alone, which...
Home Alone,
I don't really...
that is his best movie.
No, I don't really like holiday movies, and I don't really care for
That's the best
Home
Christmas
Alone.
movie. Oh my God, that's the best Christmas movie.
The best Christmas movie is Christmas Vacation. I will take
Vacation
no
and Home Alone.
questions.
I don't know if I can decide between those two movies what my favorite is, but those are the top tier Christmas movies.
In the last week, Jen has watched Home Alone probably 3 times. I hate that movie. Well, I don't hate that movie.
I love it
I just
so
don't
much.
care about holiday movies. It's better than 2 and 3. It's better than the fucking 2 and 3.
Yeah, I think I don't like any of the other ones, but
No one's going to bat for 3.
No, I'm not going to bat for 2 either. I don't like 2 either. Really, I love the first one though.
I'm confused because you just said John Hughes for Home Alone.
I just Googled John Hughes movies and it popped up.
I thought it was Chris Columbus.
It is Chris Columbus.
Oh, it is Chris Columbus. Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
that's
I
why
don't
he
know.
got Harry Potter, is because he's good with working with kids. That was the whole.
Yeah.
He might have been a producer.
He wrote it according to IMDb.
Wrote it.
Okay.
That's probably why it popped up. Hate's a strong word. I don't hate Home Alone. The problem is I just don't like holiday movies. I just think I secretly don't like the holidays. I think that's my actual
really?
problem.
I love Christmas. I don't like any holiday.
I like Thanksgiving because I like Thanksgiving food.
I like ham more than turkey. So.
I don't like the pressure around Christmas. It's just not.
I get that.
Good. Anyways, family stuff, right? Am I right? That's a different podcast. Before we wrap things up, as we always do with a game, quick couple of outro things. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode 396 of the Past Controller Podcast. If you like the show, want to support the show, the best way you can do that is to leave us a quick 5-star review on your podcast platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to the show. Please, please, please take a quick moment, leave us a 5-star review. It's super beneficial in helping us grow the show as we go into our, I don't even know, 14th year of doing this. Yeah.
Mike, you should have picked The Night Before for a Christmas movie. Make Brenden wants another Christmas. Have you ever seen The Night
Yeah.
The Night Before?
That-
I
is
don't
that-
think so. I don't know.
That's the
what
one
that
with
Anthony
with John
Mackie,
Joseph-
Seth Rogen.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah,
is.
I've
No.
seen parts of it. I don't think I've seen the whole thing.
What was the one from last year with David Harbour?
Oh, Silent Night, I think it's called.
Isn't that a
Oh,
horror movie?
yes.
That's a horror movie, right?
No, it's
No, it's an action movie.
an action movie. He's Santa.
It's basically Die Hard if it was actually a Christmas movie.
John Leguizamo's the bad guy. Yeah.
Interesting.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big action movie guy. It's like not my bag.
Oh, you
Yeah, but
love-
Santa's the action hero.
Yeah, he's like the.
I do not. Anyways, I don't want to go down a Christmas movie tangent. Leave us a 5-star review. It's super, super beneficial. We appreciate you if you do. If you have bucks kicking around, there's plenty of ways to support us. You can go to patreon.com/passcontroller, become a patron. Go to passcontroller.threadless.com, get some swag, or go to twitch.tv/passcontroller and subscribe to us over there. As a quick reminder, for those of you who listen to us in audio only over on the podcast feed or over on wherever you listen to the show, we do record this live every week when we record. You can watch us live at twitch.tv/passcontroller. If you can't make the live show, we do put all of those videos up onto our YouTube channel after. Just search Pass the Controller on YouTube. You will find us. But yeah, that's a quick couple of outro things. As we get into the end here, because it is a movie episode, we are, of course, playing the movie game, the scoreboard for the year after a week of only points. The scoreboard has changed rather drastically. Dom in the lead with 57, Todd in second with 55, and Mike creeping up at 45. We don't need to go over the guest stuff because it's just us tonight. But without further ado, the movie game. Did we ever name this game? Does this game have a name? I don't fucking remember.
It's called the movie game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, fair. All right, movie number 1. Oh, for those listening, if this is your first episode, the way the movie game goes, I will read random things about this film. And I will continue to reveal more information about the movie until someone gets it. The first one to get it gets the point. Without further ado, movie number 1.
What's the theme this week?
I don't know. Maybe there isn't one. Who's to say?
John Carpenter movies.
This 1979.
Halloween.
Incorrect. Rated,
Oh, damn it.
rated G movie.
It's not Halloween.
Clocks in at an hour and 35 minutes.
Rated G. Jesus.
1979, an hour 35.
This film has 11 award nominations and 4 wins. 2 of those nominations are Oscars, Academy Awards. They did not win, but they were nominated for Best Music Original Song and Best Music Original Score in its adaptation or Best Adaptation Score.
1979 G. Is it the Muppet movie?
It is indeed the Muppet movie. Dom gets a slam dunk. Very quick point for
Should have
Dom.
known with Brenden.
What does that even mean? Should have known with me. The Muppet movie is a classic movie.
You always talk about the Muppets, so
The movie is a classic movie. Is this not a classic movie? You don't like the Muppets?
No.
Have you seen the Muppet movie?
So the only Muppet movie I like, and I don't dislike the Muppets, is the most recent one with forgetting Sarah Marshall.
The second most recent.
Yeah.
Second most recent. Yeah.
Not
That's a good
Muppets,
movie.
most
That's a
wanted.
good movie.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's
Original
a
Muppet
really
movie.
good movie.
Yeah. But have you ever seen the original movie, The Muppets?
So long ago, but like it's been like
Cool.
Like,
I know what
the
my
Muppet
pick
movie.
is. I know what my
The
theme
Muppet-
is for
the
next
Muppet
year. The
movie.
Muppet movie, yeah.
The Muppet movie.
I know what my
Muppets is the one with Jason
yes,
Segel.
correct. I know what my theme is for next year.
oof, terrible thing.
Muppet movies?
Terrible.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Fuck, I love the Muppets. A friend of the show, Jesse Vitelli, has never seen a fucking Muppet movie. They made him watch.
He's smart. He's smart.
What did they watch? They either watched Muppet Family. No, they either watched Christmas. No, they watched. I think they watched the Muppet movie. I think that's what they made him watch. I think they watched it while we were recording, like 2 weeks ago.
Did he hate it?
I don't know. I actually didn't ask him what he thought of it. But I don't really care. I don't care what anyone else thinks about the Muppets. The Muppets are fucking great. So I mean, it's a moot point.
Moot.
I know. I always say that. That's like one of those things I always say incorrectly. For the longest time, I thought it was play it by year with a Y.
Stop it.
For the
Interesting.
longest time. The longest time. Jen is actually the person that corrected me at some point when we were like early dating.
That's fucking
She
wild.
was like, "Did you say play it by year?" I was like, "Yeah, is that not what it is?" She's like, "No, it's like play it by ear." And I'm like, "How has no one ever said that to me until now?"
For real.
Anyways, Dom gets the quick slam dunk. Let me pull up movie number 2 here. Whoops.
I guess it's not John Carpenter movies.
Why?
Well, let me just take the look at the back of this. Make sure it's not.
He's related to it somehow. He
This.
voiced Fozzie Bear.
79 is Keith David a voice of one of the Muppets in that?
You guys are cheating. You cannot be looking up these information. You need to.
To be fair, Mike has the Muppet movie at his it's on 2 copies are sitting on his desk at
So
all times.
that's bizarre, but I also will say
copies.
that is the same thing as me like picking movie game back of the box and Mike looking at his shelf behind him to read back of the game boxes.
He's picking.
No
He's
games
looking
back
at.
there.
He's looking at a movie that we've already answered.
Maybe, but you're looking for future information. I see what you're doing. This 2001 movie number 2. This 2001 rated PG-13.
God damn it! I had a.
I was gonna say Muppets in Space.
I wasn't. I was gonna say Lilo and Stitch.
Okay, PG-13. Keep going.
Clocks in at 2 hours and 10 minutes.
PG-13, 2000 and what year did you say? 2001?
2012.
2001.
2001. Don't listen to Todd. Todd can only sabotage us now.
That's what I was trying to do.
This film
2001.
has 19 nominations, including 6 wins, none of which are Oscars or Golden Globes.
Oh, so it's a bunch of fucking Nick Choice Awards and MTV Movie Awards.
Maybe.
2001.
Maybe it is, and maybe it isn't.
2001. What do we got? Brainstorm here.
I'm
Why are you trying to
remember where
help
I
each
was.
other?
1999.
We looked each other up.
That's a you guys are gonna give Dom the championship this year doing that. This film, this 2001 PG-13 film, had a budget of $98 million and clocked in a worldwide gross of $433 million.
Say that again.
430 something.
Oh, it's Harry. No, yeah. Let me go with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Incorrect.
Lord of the Rings. Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
98 million isn't enough to be a Harry Potter movie, is it?
I mean, I feel like that's a lot of money.
You said no to Lord of the Rings,
Is
too?
it? In 2001.
Not Lord of the Rings. This film has a 46% tomato meter and a 63% audience score.
Interesting. And it was that successful.
2001 PG-13.
According to Rotten Tomatoes, you might also
Is this Austin Powers?
Incorrect. According to Rotten Tomatoes, you might also like Batman and Robin, which has. Does anyone want to guess what the Batman and Robin tomato and audience score is? Hold on. If anyone can get, if any one of you can get both correct on the dot, you get an extra point.
I can't.
I can't. I'm gonna say
They are not the same number.
25, 37.
Anyone
I would
else?
guess I would go
13, 18.
Anyone else? Dom?
I'm gonna say 32 and 53.
People must hate watch that.
11 and 16.
Wow.
Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like Lara Croft Tomb Raider, which has a 20%, 47%.
I never saw those movies.
Is it
either.
Daredevil?
Incorrect. Rotten Tomatoes says you might also like Shanghai Noon. Van Helsing.
Is it Rush Hour?
Incorrect. Van Helsing and Men in Black 2.
Is it Underworld?
Incorrect.
Is it Rush Hour 2?
Incorrect.
Is it Wild Wild West?
Incorrect.
There's
Did
no
Will
way that
Smith
movie
had
makes
2
point.
movies in the same year? Like 2
Probably.
big guys like that? Weren't those both big
Yeah,
guys?
back.
Wild Wild
Rush-
West was 99, I think.
Yeah, I
and
don't
that
know.
was like a
It
huge
wasn't.
bomb.
It wasn't. Yeah, but didn't. Oh, did it not make money? I thought it made money.
It probably made some money, but I don't think it did what they wanted it to do.
I don't know. I remember it being like the McDonald's movie, like advertised big. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Will Smith was in his prime then.
Yep. All right, what else you got for us?
You may also recognize at least one actor / actress from the DCEU.
In 2001.
2001. Brenden doesn't know that many people, so it must be.
Who's in the DCEU? I can't even think. We got Ben Affleck.
Well, I'm going to list off things.
Henry Cavill.
Actually, Henry Cavill.
I feel like it's going to be Ben Affleck.
Is it Armageddon?
Incorrect.
It's going to be Ben Affleck though, because no one else in the DCU. It's like he's the only one who was making movies back then, probably.
I mean, there's other people. There's other people.
It
could be.
Go ahead.
It could be.
It would appear, as of right now, at least out loud, that no one has figured out the secret theme.
Yeah, definitely not.
No.
Oh, whatever the names of
It was
his
2001. 2001. What the fuck movies was I watching in 2001?
Live and Let Die?
Incorrect.
What's that? Is that Bond?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan was in
You
one
may
of those movies.
recognize the third build actor from.
Was that his movie, Mike?
I don't think so. Because that was the one that had Paul McCartney sing the theme, right?
Yeah.
I think it's one that was in the 80s.
That's two,
And
yeah.
it made 480 million. I feel like that's a lot for back then.
You
like
may recognize the third build actor from such things as other movies tied to this movie, or The Hurricane, or Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Is the Hurricane the one with Will Smith?
I don't know.
The Hurricane is.
Oh, that's the one with Helen Hunt.
I can give you that information
when the
if you want.
Hurricanes are chasing them
Who it
around.
is? Oh, don't, because now I know who it is. It's Denzel.
It is Denzel.
Hurricane.
Oh. Denzel.
Wait, Denzel's the Hurricane?
Yeah.
It's not Will Smith?
Oh, yeah.
He's the top build
It's
actor.
Denzel.
You're thinking
Denzel
about
plays Hurricane.
Ali.
Yeah, you're
I'm thinking
of
of Ali. Yeah.
You may recognize the second build actress from such things as another film tied to this movie, Disobedience, The Constant Gardener, or
PG-13, right?
yes, or The Lobster.
Lobster?
The
Okay,
Lobster.
so I know the actress.
Denzel third build.
No, Denzel is not in this movie.
Oh,
Oh, so now I'm confused even more. Okay.
No,
But the
Wait,
third-
yeah,
you
can
had
you give
said
us the Hurricane?
Hold on, you had said the Hurricane and said it's Denzel. Yes, Denzel is in the Hurricane. Denzel is not in this
it's-
movie,
Oh, okay.
nor is Denzel the third build actor.
okay. That clears things up for me.
Yeah. I know who the
I can't
actress-
remember who else was in. Oh,
Denzel's in the Hurricane. Was that the Hurricane the movie about
The
boxer?
Hurricane has nothing to
Yeah.
do with this.
I'm
It's
just
not going to
curious,
help
like,
you.
I was just,
brought up
no,
the
I
Hurricane,
know.
didn't
but-
you?
Yes,
What?
because the third build actor, the four movies that were listed for that person were The Hurricane, two movies that are tied to this movie, and
Yeah.
Four Weddings and a Funeral, or whatever the name of that movie was. And then Todd went on a whole thing about Will Smith, and
Oh, so
Is
it's
it
got to
9
be
months?
what?
It's
9 months?
Is that a guess? No.
Yeah, that's a guess.
it's Remember the Titans.
Incorrect.
Now I'm confused. I'm very confused right now.
I'm just gonna keep guessing Denzel movies.
That's fair.
If
I know who the actress is.
if
at
you
least.
knew the through line, you would probably know the movie.
Okay, well, we only have figured out one movie so far.
Well,
You don't have to
Todd
make
knows
it
the
up.
second lead actress. Todd, I would not reveal that information if I were you, because the other
I'm
two
not-
will get the
I'm not-
movie immediately if you say that.
Really? What the
Who's the actress?
Oh,
You might know them from The Constant Gardener, or The Lobster, or Disobedience, or
I don't.
another movie attached to this movie. This second build actress has 100 nominations with 43 wins, including one Oscar.
is it The Mummy Returns?
It is The Mummy Returns.
Is it? Okay, there we go. All right.
Todd gets the
Why
point.
was it? Oh, you
Cal
know what?
Welch.
So
I mean,
no, so
Rachel
you know
Weisz.
who I thought the actress was at first? I thought I'm an idiot, and when you said The Lobster, I was thinking of Nicole Kidman, but she's not in The Lobster. Then I'm like, wait, I had to think back.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you
oh,
you were
wait.
all over the place with
I
other
was
movies,
all-
I was
Todd.
all over
The
the place.
third build
I'm confused.
actor is John Hannah.
Yeah, Denzel is not in that movie.
What movie?
The Mummy Returns.
Please tell me you're joking right now. I don't know why any of you listen to anything Todd says. Todd is the derailing.
What do you mean? I
everything.
didn't even bring it up. I didn't-
Bro, you were the one that's like, Will Smith is in this movie, and then Dom said no, correctly, Denzel is the Hurricane. And then you all thought Denzel was in The Mummy Returns.
Oh man, Mummy Returns is such a good movie too, except for the CGI.
The
at
best
the end.
part is I still can't figure out what the through line is right now.
No, same.
Movie number 3. Mike, are you gonna split the diff here? Are we gonna keep it a fucking stagnant scoreboard? Or are you gonna let one of these...
I have a guess, but I can't.
I wouldn't say it out loud if you did. I
I'm
wouldn't.
probably gonna let one of them take it because you keep bringing it up and it screws me up every single
No,
time.
stop that, Mike. Stop that. I'm pumping you up. I'm trying to pump you up. Trying to light some gas on the stove. You know. Movie number 3. This 1987 PG film clocks in at an hour and 38 minutes.
In 87. Oof.
This film has 10 nominations, including 7 wins, one of which is not an Oscar. But they do have an Oscar nomination for Best Music Original Song.
What was the age rating? PG?
Yes.
PG, I believe. This was after they came out with the PG-13 rating, I think.
It doesn't matter. It still would be like they'd be loose with PG.
According to, typically we go off of Box Office Mojo, but for some reason it's not showing there. So according to its Wikipedia page, this film had a budget of $16 million and grossed $30.9 million.
What is this through line?
I don't know. I had a guess, but
I have a guess,
So
but
Denzel's
even with
on
that
this
guess, yes, they're all
Denzel
I have a
movies.
guess.
They're all movies Todd thinks Denzel's in.
is the correct answer to this The Princess Bride?
It is The Princess Bride. That means Dom knows the through line.
It's wrestlers.
It is
'cause,
wrestlers.
The Rock was in
Andre
The Mummy
Giant.
Returns.
Who?
Yeah,
Yeah, but I couldn't put anybody in the Muppets.
Yeah, who's on Muppets?
Hard-boiled Haggerty. He's the lumberjack that throws Kermit.
Yes. Okay.
Wait, so Princess Bride only did that little of money?
Yeah, it's a cult classic.
Yeah, I thought it was always a big movie though. Like I knew it was a huge like cult following, but like I assumed that movie was a big deal. Especially with Billy Crystal, that was like Billy Crystal in his peak and like interesting.
Yeah, that was good. I'm glad you guys didn't figure out the through line until the end, because I think it would have made The Mummy Returns probably happen quicker.
No! I figured it out after
for
the
you to
second
do
one.
the Muppet movie first.
Yes, that was the point. The point was for me to bury the lead.
I just don't know wrestlers.
Well, I mean,
Wait, so
hard-boiled.
Denzel was
Haggerty,
acting in the Muppets back then?
Yes.
Anyways, thank you for listening to this episode 396. Be good, and we'll see you next week.